school teacher, or maybe worked in a corporate world. Our careers, they tend to be the way that we identify ourselves. Now, what happens when that identity is taken from you? We found ours in real estate. Now, let us help you find yours on the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast, starting now.
Welcome to the Winning Move Podcast. I'm your co-host, Stratton Brown.
Man, welcome to the Free Agent REI Podcast. I'm your co-host, Michael.
All right, welcome to the Free Agent Podcast. My bad.
We got to keep people on their toes, man. We got to make sure that they knew what the hell we was doing.
I like flipping birds, bro. I really do.
You like that?
I like it. I say we.
My wife didn't shut it down, so she said she liked the concept of it.
I didn't tell
with a better logo.
Bro, you want it. So
sometimes I'm afraid to tell her some things like that I think is dope
because they're gonna shut it down.
Shut it down.
I got a story for that.
Good.
So me and Chase, when we were like moving Call Magicians into like a staffing thing, I was like, what was it? It was Call Magicians Magic Staffing. I think we're just gonna call it like Magic Staffing. Colin is like Google Magic Staffing. Some weird shit came up.
Yeah,
like weird. She's like, bro, like, are you staffing people? Like, is that what that means? Like, it's where, like, and then Chase's girlfriend said the same thing. For like me and Chase thought we were genius. Like, oh yeah, bro, we're a staffing company. It's magical.
Yeah.
She's like, Google it.
But I mean, you kind of got to do that to kind of see what's out there and what could come to somebody's mind when they think about it.
I didn't even think about it that way, and that was the first thing. Both of them.
Yeah.
Like, come on,
women
bro.
are very more analytical than most. It's funny because Dean had his podcast with Carlos Reyes, and he talks about that a lot in just like a woman's intuition and just, you know, when he noticed that things just started going differently in his life, and it was really just like, he was like, when I just started listening to my wife. He's like, as simple as it is, bro. When I started listening to my wife is when my life kind of just like fucking just took off. And my wife's sitting in the car listening to her, and she's like, you hear that? I was like, I fucking listen to you. She's like, you've gotten better at it. I'm like, you know, it's something that I've actually like been intentionally trying to get better at. And she brought up something that happened a couple of days ago. She was like, well, when's the last time you listened to me? And I was like, oh, when did it? It was like a week ago. And she was like, no, that's not the most recent time. And I was like, she was like, yesterday. And I was like, oh, what was it? I was like, I listened to you. I said, but I still want to give you like what my thought is. Like, you know, I think that's, you know, you can be told to do something, but it's like, can I at least tell you where my perspective is and then shut me down? I think that's the biggest thing for me.
That's a big
like,
one.
I don't like, it's not that I don't like taking, when it comes to just me and my wife, when it comes to certain things, like I still like to be heard, you know, even though you could be correct. And I'm not saying you're not correct. Let me just tell you where my mind was. And if you still feel that way about it, then cool. Like I felt like I was heard. But like when you're just like, no, just do like, just hear me out real quick.
Yeah.
Like I think that's what the biggest thing that could probably frustrate me is at least not being able to get it out there. Because sometimes in my mind, it makes 100% like it's more efficient. But if you don't feel like it's efficient, then you know what? Even if your way does take longer,
I'll give you.
We'll still do it. And then afterwards, usually, you know, she's like, "Oh well."
Sometimes the battles aren't worth it.
Oh no, that's my wife's uncle told me that. I remember that like, shit. Me and my wife been together for a long time. So when I was going through college and stuff like that, and you know, we played video games.
First word of advice.
Still going out with my friends. You know, I mean, she always wanted to hang out. Like I'm trying to go hang out with my friends, so you don't want to be with me. You know, and not on some like clingy shit like that, but just like with women, like, bro, you're their best friend. And whereas guys, I feel like we classify them like we're like, you know, I got my boys and I got my girl, you know what I mean? And so like that's just how you see it. Whereas your girl sometimes like, nah, I ain't got my friends, like I got you. Like, you know what I mean?
I like having both, right? Because I always say this: how are you gonna vent to me about me being an asshole?
Yeah. No, I'm right there with you.
Like, I mean, you got to have a third party.
And I'm okay with you having that person. You should have that person.
You need to.
A good person, though. You know what I mean? I think that's
not
where
that toxic, not your toxic friend.
Ones. Like,
not your toxic friend.
I got a buddy that was dating somebody, and
that chick in Miami.
She went to her friends, and she'd vent and stuff like that. But like all her friends was like single. So I'm like, how you venting to single girls? Like they can't really give you advice. They don't know. They don't even know what the fuck they doing. Like, you know what I mean? There's a reason why they're in a situation that they in.
Well, I mean, and they want to be single. So so I was listening to Him 500.
Okay.
He at Levi and Jay Monopoly's event.
Okay.
And he was like, you want to know? None of my wife's friends are single, and none of my friends are single because there's no alignment.
There's no alignment. Like, yeah, 100%.
Like, bro, there's just no alignment. I was like, yeah, I mean, it makes sense. Like, I mean, because in all reality, right, when we all going out, you're going out with two different mentalities. You're going out with two different mentalities. So the other day, like when we went to Kyle's bachelor party, it was a bunch of dudes with girlfriends and wives at the club, all just like sitting at a table, right?
Yeah,
but like
that'd be us, man.
But like, is anybody wilding? No, like, you know, like
girls go wild together, bro.
Like the boys are like wild, you know. You got Dino grabbing ass and shit. My ass, not my ass.
You see how I got nervous. So, what you doing? Oh shit!
He sat by me the whole time.
Yeah,
I promise, Mrs. Rogers.
Fuck, that's funny as fuck.
But I mean, it's two different mentalities.
Cut.
Bro, I could see that shit just fucking.
She's fucking around, go viral and shit.
Go around, go viral. Get a call from Dino. Hey, bro, we can't do this no more.
Fuck, I forgot what.
I got one. I got another one. How bad are you?
I didn't finish one of my train of thoughts though. I can't remember what that was.
Well, let me finish this one.
All right, go ahead.
So the other day, I got sent to the grocery store to buy one thing. I didn't get it, but I got everything else, and that happened and that happened 2 days in a row.
Bro, it's overwhelming when you.
And I called her in the store. I was like, "Hey, I got the stuff. Do you need anything else?" And she was like, "No." I was like, because like we had a conversation earlier. Like she was like, "I don't want ranch." She said she never said it, but I heard it.
Bro, if you heard it, bro, you.
Thank you. I heard it.
I firmly be believing that women sometimes just don't be hearing what the fuck we be saying, because they'll say some shit, and I'm like, you 100% said that. Like, what other reason would I not do that?
Bro. But so, in a nutshell, 2 days in a row. So, what was it? Monday, it was ranch. Yesterday, it was pancakes. Okay. I forgot both. Like, I went to the grocery store yesterday. I bought the cheese platter, like I said. Like, so I was talking about earlier, bro. I got popsicles, a cheese platter, sugar-free popsicles from Kind. Best investment I ever have. Some cheese. What else I get? Just stuff, right? Again, just shit. No groceries. Oh, and hamburger helper, because I wanted some hamburger helper.
Bro, I've been wanting some hamburger helper.
Kalani hates it, bro. I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I grew up.
Well, I don't know. Don't get the beef pasta. So I got
like the stroganoff, and
I got the stroganoff, and I got the beef pasta, and I bought 2.5 pounds of ground beef, and I put like half and half in each one. The beef pasta was not it.
No, you got to get like the stroganoff and
the stroganoff,
the hamburger, the cheeseburger one. Is the cheeseburger? Or the
it is.
One,
it is.
Like that?
It is.
It's just fire. It is. But that's what I was saying. The best advice that I got when I was younger, because I'd get so upset, dude, because like I'd be wanting to go like, I spend all day with
shit with my friends.
Then I want to, we just want to go play fucking NCAA or fucking go play Call of Duty or something. And it was just always just something, dude. And so, the advice that I got was just, choose your battles. I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like, I just get so mad. What do you mean choose my battles, bro? Like, this is it. Like, choose my battles, bro. And so what happened is I had some single friends and stuff like that. And so like, it helped me, I think, grow in a whole different level, because what ends up happening is you start separating yourself from your single friends, because if your friends couldn't understand the dynamics of a relationship, and they started giving you like a hard time because you can never do anything, right? And it's one of those things where it's just like, well, bro, like, go find you somebody.
Well, for me, but I feel like it's two different approaches.
But you learn, but you know what? I think when you're younger, you don't realize like the significance and just like the attention that a relationship actually needs, in a sense of, nurturing that and what it could be. And we look at it as just like any other relationship that we have, and it's not. And so I feel like you don't value as much time with your significant other when you're younger than you do when you're older.
Yeah, I mean, but that's why, you got married super young, right?
I got married at 26.
But you guys were together the whole time, right?
Yeah, so I was 18.
Yeah, so you were married at 18. Like at what point were you like, yeah, I'm married?
Yeah.
Right? Like before you were married, you're like, yeah, I'm married.
Yeah.
For me, I think it needs attention, but then again, it's like setting ground rules at the beginning of like, hey, this is what I like. This, as stupid as it is, when we set ground rules in relationships, things go significantly better.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So like, hey, so this is how much time like I need to spend with my friends so I don't die. This is how much time you need with me. We need to find a happy medium. Because again, I want to spend time with my friends. And like we still, luckily for me, like mine and Kalani's friend group is the same friend group.
Which ultimately it will become that.
But so B Hughes came with us on Sunday. But it wasn't like B Hughes was third wheel and it was just like the three of us hanging out.
Yeah, because you all fuck with each other. And here's the tip though, now when you think about it, because ultimately the boys that you want to go hang out with, like if they really like fuck with you like that, like they ain't got no problem sliding through the house and fucking with you there. You know what I mean? But like there's typically a reason why you don't hang out with
alone guy time is still good.
It is. But what I'm saying is typically the people that we want to spend that long guy time with, like a low-key our significant other, probably don't fuck with. And it comes down to listening to your significant other, because there's typically a reason for that. They sniff out a bad character, they sniff out just bad intentions, they sniff all that shit out before we even sniff any of it out. And we're always like, well, I don't know why you don't like him. Well, fucking maybe because the last time y'all went out, dude was acting like a dog right in front of her, and she's like, you don't even respect that I'm right here. So that she done lost all respect for him, because she's like, if that's how he act like, when I'm here, how the fuck is he act?
I've never been in that situation.
Me neither. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, like, but that's what it come down to. Like, those are the things that they see, and they're just like,
For me, it's I have time with my girlfriend, I have time with my friends, and then I never want to be the guy like where you ruin the guy's night by bringing your girlfriend.
That's different,
But like that's a thing.
Yeah, no, yeah,
and it's the worst because then like nobody can like be really like telling like, hey, what's really going on with you and old girl? Like you can never really vent. Like you can't do any of that.
We went through that with one of someone I know. I ain't gonna put it kind of out there like that, but whenever we would go somewhere, the individual, like the significant other, would just like roll with us. And it'd be like, so then it's just like, well, bro, like you just start staying home, like, bro, like, don't
go. You gotta
us.
stay home,
because at some point it's like, and we brought it up, like, what do you have against this person like rolling with us if we just go into a store? And it really was just like, at the end of the day, it helps your relationship to let, like, he's mobbing with some good people, like, you know what I mean, both married, like, we gonna tell him this is the time for him to be able to vent. You know what I mean? Guys don't need a lot, bro. You talking about a trip to 7-Eleven. You know what I mean? We're going to get some shit out on the trip to 7-Eleven, and he's going to be able to get it out. And if he's surrounded by good people, they're going to tell him like, bro, you overreacting. Like that's,
and that is good, especially when you have good friends in your life.
You know what I mean? Like that's just part of being in a relationship. Like you got to learn how to just give and take, bro. And like this, I don't know if this is a battle that I'm willing to die on a sword for. Like
what battles are you fighting that you shouldn't?
You know what I mean? And that's why they say like choose your battles, because like sometimes like you just in your feelings and you think it's a battle to pick, and it's like, where does it get you? Like, what do you like? You just want to be told that you were right about it? Like, bro, let that shit go. Like the biggest advice, like besides choosing your battles that I can give somebody in a relationship is like, stop trying to worry about being right. Like, who gives a shit? Like, bro, I'll admit I'm wrong. Like, some shit happened. I'm like, you know what? My fault. Yeah, I apologize.
Me and Kalani be getting in like, I don't want to say, like some type of like ideological battles about like some stupid house shit.
Yeah.
And then the other day I had to admit she was right. So we're usually like, we will go head to head and like debate it out and like line.
Oh, hell no.
But like, it's not a fight, right? But then the other day I was like, fuck yeah, you're right.
We get in arguments about like shades of colors and shit.
Oh my God.
Like pink, bashful, blush. I'm like, it's pink. I'm like, that's pink. She's like, no, it's not pink. It's bashful. And I'm like, but it's pink.
I'll die on that hill.
I'm like, it's a shade of what? Pink. right? But like, those are our battles, bro.
I'll die on that hill.
But yeah.
Like what she doesn't. One of my sweaters is lavender, and she won't call it lavender. I'm not for lavender.
I mean, it's low key purple.
I can take purple, but she calls it like magenta.
That's fucking, bro. Like, who knows that? Like, why you know the specific? They know the colors got like the
she had
the numerical
box.
Number. They got
Kalani
the
grew up
hashtag
nice with the 128 box crayons.
Bro, they got the hashtag like 10055. Like they fucking know like that specific code. That color is what? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, bro, like it's purple. You know what I mean? Don't tell me the exact fucking shade of purple that it is.
Man. Yeah.
Shit. Yeah, so that was that, man.
Significant others is hard, bro.
It is.
One thing nobody ever says, this shit's hard.
It's hard, but it's easy at the same time. Like it's hard, but it makes a lot of shit easy. It's kind of hard to even fucking say it like that. Like it's, or maybe
you're opening up a can of worms.
It makes some things in life simple. Things in life that shouldn't be, or that we may always feel that can be difficult or hard. Like I said, sometimes I feel like having a good significant other makes that shit simple.
I mean, yeah,
because you're not always having to explain shit sometimes, because they kind of know you.
Yeah, well, they know you. And for me personally, I don't think I'd be able to find anything without my significant other.
You know, because they know you. You know what I mean? So it's like they fill those little voids that you have.
I'm just talking about like my shoes. Like I don't know where I can't find it, bro. She knows where it all is. That you think that's not a big deal, bro?
Put it there, bro.
I don't think she put it there.
You probably left it somewhere. You know what I mean? Like that's probably what happened. Like check this. Like, so we're building our new house, right? And so downstairs there's like this closet that's like underneath the stairs, you know, that little audience closet or whatever.
The Harry Potter room.
My wife was like, "Hey, I'm just gonna make this like a shoe closet for you." And I was like, "Okay." And then she was like, "Cause I know you're not gonna carry him upstairs."
Oh, is your room upstairs?
Our room's upstairs.
Yeah, you ain't carrying those
but like,
upstairs.
That was a battle that I'm fixing that now. Because I told her, I'm like, I'm not coming in the door, and the chances of me taking my shoes upstairs, like, it's probably not gonna happen. I'm like, I'm probably ready to sit down by the time I get in the house. You know what I mean? Like, I come in, I take my shoes off at the door, and next thing you know, I got a pile of shoes by the door. You know what I mean? And she's like, bro. And she feels like I purposely do it. And I'm like, it's not that, like, I can come home, bro, and maybe when I leave to go take the kids to school and I go to the office for a little bit or whatever, and I come back, maybe I had on some sweats or something, whatever, you know what I mean? And I took off my shoes at the door. But then when we had to get ready to go do something else, like it required a different shoe, you know what I mean? So I put that shoe on. Next thing you know, I already got a pair of shoes at the door. And I come home, take that pair of shoes off. The next day, you know what I mean? Like it just piles up on me unintentionally. And so she was just like, I'm about to fix this now. We're just going to put this closet right here, right by the garage door. Put your shoes in there.
So we have a bunch of my shoes at the front door, but I like them there so I can see, because I can't see. Our closet's so crowded, I can't see my shoes. So I pick out what shoes I want for the day. Huh?
So it's her fault.
That was probably my fault.
Your closet is crowded, bro.
I got a lot of clothes.
That's horrible.
I got a lot of.
Does she have her own closet, bro?
No.
When are you buying? When are you buying the house, bro?
I don't know. We're looking at moving to San Diego, Houston, San Diego, Dallas, and Austin.
And what's the deciding factors on those things?
Oh, we gotta go to all three of them. I've been to all three of them. You've
been to all three of them?
Yeah.
She hasn't.
And she hasn't.
Okay.
And it's getting. Then I have to have the conversation with Zeno's mom.
Yeah.
Like, hey, this is what I'm thinking about doing. You open to this, and then sell it. I gotta sell like 3 different people. Like,
yeah.
For whatever point it is,
right?
You gotta get my pitch right on like the whole thing. I really like San Diego, and if we buy the amount of real estate we're supposed to this year, I'm not really worried about taxes, right? Just because, like, bro, you get so much depreciation, it doesn't matter. I don't like the laws, but bro, San Diego's so pretty, because I'm not about. I think just waking up in a good area, like, it does multiples for your mind.
Bro, I'm envious every time I watch Dean's stories.
Right, like when you wake up with like good energy.
Bro, I'm like, bro, you already at the water?
You wake up with such better energy, right? Like you get the sunlight. I don't like, I at least like over where I am, because like it's not as smoggy.
Yeah.
But like down, like, so imagine if we lived in this office and I had to think about these damn homeless people every time I woke up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It
like,
fucks with you.
It fucks with you. Like, that's not the type of energy I want.
Did you guys ever play in the Hawaii Bowl?
Yeah.
Okay, so that hotel that we stayed in at the Hawaii Bowl, where you was able to leave, because we had the view of the ocean, right? And so you was able to leave the slider open, and like we would go to sleep that way. We fucking, we'd open, because you couldn't do that. We were staying in the Bulldogs. You couldn't do that in Fresno State, But whenever we go to Hawaii, bro, that's probably like the highlight of it all for me. Is always like we getting ready to go to bed, bro. We'll just open up the slider and you just listen to the waves just crashing, bro. And it was just like, that was the dopest shit ever. And then waking up to it, it was just like, You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. So I get what you're saying. Like, it does something to you when you wake up that way, whether it's rain outside or not. Like, it's different.
That's why I'm so big. Like, so I love where we live now. Like, I think it's a nice neighborhood. Mm-hmm. Like, how can I make it better? Like, how can I make it more to like I wake up and like I feel amazing. Mm-hmm. And I'm not saying I don't feel amazing now, but then like having to drive into Fresno to where I was like, man, like we're in San Diego, it's all nice. Mm-hmm. But I was,
golf carts and shit.
Like on golf carts and shit. But like it's a different mentality around a different type of people. Yeah. So that's the reason I like it. And then even if you just get a really good yard, I think having a really good yard and waking up and walking into your backyard and being like, oh yeah.
So working with Cletus and Aaron, that's been something that they've really tried to not push into us, but that's something that they're really big on. And a lot of it comes down to like what, Cletus used to be in institutionalized and stuff like that. So he has little routines like when he wake up and just the structure and just, things like that. But one thing that they really like tried to really instill in us lately was really just like home, like being home and just like what that does. Cause for us for a long time, like when even the old house that we just moved out of, when we got there, like we did everything in the house except for like the master bedroom, really. Like we did the floors and stuff like that, but we really neglected the master bathroom. And so that was always a thing where it was just, you wake up and you kind of go in there and you're just like, fuck, I gotta, just need to get replaced. And every day was just.
But then you have that thought, and I don't want that thought every day.
You have that thought all the time. And so he was just like, the home should be the one place where like us buying a new build, like we're gonna complete our backyard. We're gonna put the turf out there for the kids' trampoline. We're gonna do whatever it is that we want to do to it before we move into it, because I don't ever want to be put in a situation now where it's just like, like, oh, I want to do this. All I want, and I'm not saying completely renovate some shit, but like accent walls, put, maybe changing a pendant here or there, just little things like that. And so that was something that we really focused on. I think moving into our new house, it was like, like, we got to make sure we do what we got to do in our business, because this is kind of our expectation when buying a new house, is that we want to make sure we're able to take care of these things so home could feel like home and it could feel peaceful. We can wake up and we could be in a good mood, and we're not looking at, man, that needs to get redone, or, just little things like that can really fuck with you every day.
That, and then going into nature more is an awesome reset. Like think about how little you are in nature. Like just go up to the mountains and like walk around for a while. Like it feels different.
I don't feel like that when I'm walking in the morning.
No, like
I get up at 4:30 or 4:45 and I walk at 5, I feel that way.
I want away from the asphalt. I want away from Wi-Fi. Like I want away from everything.
Okay.
And like, okay, it's a reset. Like I'm up there. Now I come back down. For me, it's an amazing reset. But like if I had a house up there, again, it's another good way.
Like go to a cabin or something.
Yeah, like go up to a cabin, or you just live up there. Like Alan had his 50-acre whatever on like
true disconnect.
Yeah, like a true disconnect. For me, it's just the environment that I'm placing myself in every day, and like how does it make me feel? Like the reason we don't park out back anymore, there's too many goddamn homeless people.
Yeah. And then they want to talk to me when I'm coming in. I'm like, bro, I don't want to talk. I'm in a rush. Right? Like, I don't like being an asshole. So then I'm like, fuck, I'm just not gonna park back there because I don't want to be put in a situation where I got to be like, oh, like I gotta go. That's what I was talking to Jake about earlier. I mean, the lady was like, who's this guy who's parked back here, like this car? He brings in a bunch of different little girls all the time. Oh, I was like, that's strike 2, bro. You keep saying suspect shit. Right. Yeah, and she said that about Chris. And he was like, well, those are his daughters. She's like, good. I didn't want anything illegal happening on my property. Bro, her property, bro. She sleeps right there. Bro, like she owns it. But like then I don't. It's cool. Like it. She's cool. When she's not on one. Yeah. I do not want to have to think about homeless people when I'm pulling up anywhere. Yeah. Because like for me, like there's still an uncontrollable variable, and you don't know what's happening to them that day. And I don't like it in general, and their energy. It upsets you, bro. It upsets you because they just be there. Like, bro, like, what are you doing? Like you just, no one can tell you anything. No, like so this morning, bro. Because I forgot, I was like, okay, I'm gonna pull in up front, and I pulled up front, and there was no parking spot, so I came to the back, and there was a homeless dude laying in the middle of our parking lot. And there was a homeless lady. I was like, bro, I ain't doing this. Yeah. Sometimes you just turn around and go back home. But
for me, it's again like we talked about, like the energy that they put off, and like one person commented on my comments when I talked about that, like, oh yeah, it is so bad that poverty like repulses you. Like, yeah, I guess it does.
Isn't that poverty
and
repulses
it's not even
me? It's bad that it's trespassing. It's bad that I can't go somewhere that you pay for, you know what I mean, and not be able to control that. Or you should be able to because you pay for it. You pay
or
for
my
it
fucking
and all
kid.
Stuff. Yeah,
or like
at the end
if
of the
I
day,
want to feel comfortable like bringing my kid here,
100%, because you don't know what the hell they're doing.
You don't know what variables are.
100%.
So like that is
so it's
something
not
I'm
that
never
poverty fucking that it what did he say? Poverty what?
He was like, I'm so sorry poverty repulses you. And I was like, I mean, yeah. I'll
no one's
say
even
yeah.
talking about poverty. We're talking about just trespassing, basically.
Yeah, pretty much.
like it has nothing to do with the homeless. Like she go do this shit on the street, I wouldn't be tripping. Yeah. But she's like on my walkway to the to the front door, laying there with all of her stuff next to her and asking me if I seen someone walking away with like whatever it may be. Like it's the thought that I can't have a package delivered to my office because I'm afraid if they leave it at the door, it's gonna be fucking stolen.
Oh, but nothing.
So you see what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that's what upsets me, And so, and I know that can happen anywhere in a sense, but like it's a guarantee here.
Oh, bro, it's a guarantee.
You know what I mean? At least at your house, you're like, oh, okay, like it's a chance. Like you see it get there, you can kind of go. You got neighbors kind of look out for you here, bro. Like they just come, just take your shit, and you see them wearing it down the street.
Yeah.
But then I'm an ass if I go beat their ass with it.
Did you hear the other story I was telling Jake? So me and Kyle had a meeting this morning, and this motherfucker is like in like athletic wear, right? And he has 2 dumbbells, like 5-pound dumbbells, and he's walking. And the dude's a homeless dude who found 2 dumbbells, and he's just tripping, like turning around, screaming at nobody. Fuck you. You don't know me. And he's like still going.
With 2 rogue dumbbells.
With 2 fucking dumbbells. And then Kyle's like, oh my God, bro, please do not hit my truck.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, first world problems, I guess.
Whatever.
I guess, bro. Man, fuck them homeless people, bro.
So it's funny because I didn't have an epiphany, but I was kind of like, I was on social media, and obviously, like I'm just doing a little bit of consuming a little bit, but I filter a lot of like what I follow, people that I follow. To really
unless you're on TikTok, bro.
Hashtags I follow. I don't get on TikTok as much, to be honest with you. Like I really do like Instagram. I like the Reels.
So you like TikTok? Reels are just TikTok.
Well, maybe I just know how to navigate Instagram better.
Because I think TikTok's one of the greatest inventions ever.
TikTok's awesome.
It's hilarious.
TikTok's awesome. But so okay. So this is
hilarious.
This is how I see like Instagram and like TikTok. So it's almost like on Pandora, you got a playlist, right? And so like you got this playlist, you done changed the name to Michael's Hits, bruh. I done had it for like 3 to 4 years. I done put time into this playlist, bro. Every song that come on is a banger, right? That's Instagram for me, okay. Right? And then TikTok is that new playlist that you got. It's good. It's still slap. You know what I mean? You ain't changed the name to it yet. You still kind of hitting the thumbs up, thumbs down every once in a while. It's good. But nigga, this Michael's list right here, this shit slap. So that's Instagram for me. I know how to navigate it, bro. I done put time into it. I done followed good hashtags. I done already cleaned out people that post toxic shit. Like, you know what I mean? And so that's how I see it. And I was on there, and I remember I was listening. It was some guy who was talking about something, and I really thought to myself when it came to like my fitness and just we do live in a life where everything you want it to be instant. And when I think about it, talked about kind of like your goals and just really just enjoying the journey. And we say it all the time, enjoying the process. And I realize every time that I start like a fitness journey or whatever it may be, there's always like a goal in mind, in the sense of like, I want to be here in this many days. Like I get that it's good to set those goals, but once I get to that point, like it's one of those things where it's just like, okay, now what? And and then I get
another goal.
I get it. But for me, I didn't want it to be like a physical aspect. It's almost like making your goal something materialistic in a way. For me, it was just like, you know what? I set a goal in the sense of just being more disciplined. And I think that for me It sounds.
But we gotta have a measure for it.
You got yes. So you can. For me, the measurement was every day. It's a set of every day, 45 minutes. Like I owe it to myself. I need to be disciplined about that. I don't care what the result is, but it's learning how to do the little things every day and becoming good at something. Because that to me is going to trickle into other things. And so I've already started to do it in my business. And so for me, it was just like, you know what? I just need to fucking just start laying bricks, bro. I need to just fucking lay a brick every fucking day. 10 years from now, maybe I'll look back and be like, you know what? Fuck, that's been awesome. It's changed my life. Because that's all that business really becomes. Most successful people, bro, is they laid bricks every
but they still care about the results
consistently. Yes, you measure the results, but you're not doing it in a sense for the result. Well, you're doing it for the results, but you're not doing it for any type of like short-term results. Like it's not dictate whether I do it or not isn't dictated based off of the results. I may change how I do it, but the concept of moving for 45 minutes every day is consistent.
If I do it though, I might as well do something that is going to be like legit. Mm-hmm. Well, if I'm going to work at something, I want something to have a result, or I might as well be working on someone else. Like again, where I go into like optimizing.
But you got to think about like this is a 45 minutes of fitness. You walk every day for 45 fucking minutes. You're going to get some type of results.
Yeah.
Now you can change to what that 45 minutes looks like based on how you want to look. And that will be a short-term type measurable, but it doesn't change that I want to be fit. And what makes it hard sometimes is because being a Division I athlete and stuff like that, all you ever envisioned of how easy that shit was. Like for me, I know, not easy, but for me, I know once you get to a certain point, it becomes addicting. Like you got to do it. Like I love this shit. And early on, you don't get there. You don't feel that way. It's such a drag. You hate it. And it's just like, all you can think about is, man, if I could just get to that part where it becomes like I'm addicted to this process of it. Because your mindset changes as you know, but it takes that first, you know,
75 fucking days.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It takes that moment for you to really train your mindset and the way that you think about things and get used to pushing through it. And, you know, that's why a lot of motivational people, if you really look at them, a lot of them are fit because a lot of that shit comes from talking yourself through that shit.
So Brandon Turner was like, you want to know something? Majority of millionaires have a six-pack. It's like, yeah.
Because it's just
the discipline.
They're disciplined. Like that's the number one thing that I've taken from all the shit that I've consumed. You know, yes, people have different strategies and whatever it is, but you can pick somebody and they're fucking consistent or they're disciplined at something. Because if you can stick to something for that long of a time, you get the results you want. You get the results you want.
Well, what I'd say now, the hardest thing is like when you start doing new things, like think about us doing content. Mm-hmm. Like, so we can get some type of instant feedback through like likes and comments and stuff. But like, you're making stuff that you won't really see any results from for like 4 years. Mm-hmm. Like, it's not like you can go out and close somebody like day one when you start making content, like all that. Like, it is a long game.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
I got some feedback on that recently. I got some feedback on my content. Great content, right? And it's funny that it came up because it was one of those things where like I felt that way. You know what I mean?
Great about your content?
Huh?
What'd you feel?
So we post a lot of reels or whatever that may be. But when I go to my page, every video has a cover. It's just neat. It's just clean. Like it feels out of touch.
Oh, too custom.
It feels too professional.
I'll give you that.
And I felt that way when I had went to it one time, and I was like, damn, like if I was just coming to this page, like I'd feel like it's a brand, right? It is. It's a brand. But I've always prided myself on being the personable. You know what I mean? Whereas like I've never had a mainline investment page, a Michael Butler page. Like I wanted that shit. I am me. And so and I kind of fought back because I was like, well, I post personal stuff like with my family and my kids. Like I do it all on my story. And if people are there, but if they don't catch it at that moment, they never see it.
That's the hard part. Right?
And so to me, it was just like, you know what? I'm glad, like you said it, because I want to make sure that I'm consistently posting and I'm committed to posting content right? To make sure that we're continuing to be able to build that brand. But I want to be able to also still feel connected to the people who follow me. Because after some point you get tired of just like, you know what? Like he's consistent as fuck, but I don't really care what he's consistent about.
Yeah.
Right. But I don't want to lose that personable measure from it. I don't want it to be a strictly business page. I enjoy my social media.
All of my personal stuff goes into story. And I'd say the hardest thing for us is posting the personal stuff is so hard just because everything else is automated and like you just aren't used to it anymore.
Yeah.
Like I remember having to like post the quotes of the day every day myself.
Yeah. So you were used to always being on it.
Like
now I know it's gonna get there. So like it was one of those I just like cool.
I don't know what goes out every day. I have no clue.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what episodes is coming out of. I don't know where it is to where like what I'd say the last person one I did was my birthday. I should probably make it a point to where like we're gonna work on stills. Right, so that's why like when Jake comes with me, like we can just get random photos to where I can post and like put my own little.
Kyle does a good job at that.
Yeah,
Kyle does a good job at being. I think he does a good job at being having more photos in a sense.
Right, and so like I'll do more photos to make it more personable. But for me, it's hard just because like I don't even think about it anymore. But but my story is super.
My story, I'll be walking through the flip and shit. You know,
I feel like my story is head ass.
I probably got to do a little bit more live. I think I probably want to start touching lives a little bit. But you got to plan those things. I'm not a planner. So I'm a person to just go live.
I was told to go live 30 days in a row, and I was like, no.
Yeah, that sounds wild.
That sounds wild. Who am I gonna talk to?
Yeah, sometimes you be on there just talking to yourself, bro.
Bro, you on there talking to yourself, like the shame of it.
Yo,
I'm not Pace Morby.
I seen something one day and they were just like, hey, y'all got to stop getting on y'all live and sitting there quiet until someone get on. And then you think about it, if someone goes back later to watch your story or you'll watch your live, they click on the live and like the first 5 minutes is you just kind of like, okay, just gonna wait for y'all to roll it. Like just start talking, bro. And then people get in there, just catch up with the conversation, you know? But yeah, definitely to do some more live. What else? Because I definitely want to make sure that it stays personal.
So I know a dude.
Your guys gave me pushback on some of my shit one day when we hit the 3,000 followers, and I was like, make sure that we, you know, I want to make sure that I thank everybody, and you know, just an appreciation post or whatever. And they're like coming up with it and stuff like that, sending it to me. What you think? And then Glenna hit me up on the side, and she's like, why don't you just make a video about it, make it more personable? And I was like, you right, Glenna. I'm like, you right. I felt bad that she had to tell me that because I'm like, how much easier is that?
The one woman who doesn't do anything in social.
She's like, why don't you just, you know? But that's probably coming from a consumer standpoint, right? Someone who consumes social media, like, bro, like if it's someone that I follow, like, bro, like you personally thank me. Like, don't fucking do like a bunch of graphics and fucking, you know, the shit looks cool, but like, where's the personal touch to it? I was like, you know, you're right, Glenna. So then when they sent it to me, I was like, that shit's wet. And then I was like, what you think, Glenna? She's like, it looks way better.
All right, so I'll do more personal posts. I mean, all of the personal posts, and I low-key don't want it to be a flex either.
About what?
Like, cause like the only other time like I'd post personally is like when we go do something fun.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we're in Cabo. Hey, we're at the Cowboys game. Hey, we're doing this. Hey, we're doing that. And it's just like that doesn't give across.
I think you just got to post more. I think a lot of people, I think one of the biggest things kind of we touched on it a little bit in the beginning. We talk about your significant other. We talk about being parents. And we talk about a lot about the problems. Like I made it a huge thing. Like when we went through what we went through with the Airbnb and the furniture getting damaged and stuff like that. Like I wanted to make sure that I touched on that on like the story. And like just posting the stuff and like
that was a good one.
You know what I mean? But like I try to do those things because like I never want anyone to feel like it's all glitz and glamour and just like if it's a loss, like you know, the real loss, like when Jason posted what he posted about his refinances.
Yeah,
when I seen that, I was like bro, it like hit me. You know, and then he had the next video like fighting right back, right? From a mental standpoint. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, bro,
you know how much
I get what you're saying.
Resonated with me?
I get what you're saying, bro. But like that's a fucked up situation. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I admire you because he's pushing through it. You know, at the end of the day, like we used to wish for problems like that.
You used to wish the
but
problem.
I wouldn't wish that. What happened right there on nobody. You know what I mean? Like that shit sucks, bro. You know what I mean? And I fuck with you more for trying to like get yourself out of that rut. You know what I mean?
I liked what he said when he was like, bro, if I can't solve this problem, how the fuck am I supposed to solve the other problem?
How am I supposed to solve the big problem? That's a big problem right now.
But to me, I was like, yeah. Like, so if I can't solve this fucking problem, how the hell are we gonna make $500 million?
Yeah.
Like,
and I think what made that problem a whole lot bigger is that it wasn't like, I feel like that's more surface level and kind of like what was said and like what he said or whatever. But just knowing a bit more backstory on that and stuff like that, it's like bro, like that shit affects a lot of other things. Not just getting money from the refis and stuff like that. I'm not going to touch on it here, huh?
Was this the zoning rule one?
No. This is that was the second one that he had posted, right? The first one was just all of them that he had been working on. And like, bro, I just went through a refinance on one property. I can imagine and that took forever. So I can imagine the amount that he did it on, huh?
What happened?
I don't know. Or what took it so long, or like kind of why it fell through. I know his interest. He said something about the interest rates being dumbass high.
Oh, his refinances fell through on like a package of like 12?
I think it was like 16.
Oh, I'd be so pissed.
You know what I mean? Like, and I don't know the specifics, so I ain't gonna touch too much on that. But like, I know if them not going through like that, I have an understanding of kind of like some of the other stuff that it affects and why it's honestly like
that money's spent.
But it's way bigger than what like he even just would just tell us. You know what I mean? And not in a bad way, just more like it puts off some shit. You know what I mean? And so, big time, man. Big time for sharing that with us. And just, you know what I mean? I love being when people are just real and they show, how it could be. They show the losses, dog. Like,
I wanted to start doing, I forgot. I'm going to write this down. A loss of the week.
I
was going to start posting once a week. Like, hey, here's my L of the week. And I'll share a win of the week. And I'll just make it like a quick couple-minute video. And I'm going to put that out on social. Like, hey, or like even a minute TikTok.
Like a Deals with Dean. Or window talk.
Just of like, to where like, I try and be super transparent with a lot of our stuff. Like, hey, bro, here was the massive L this week that happened. Like, what's an L that we took this week? I mean, there's a lot. Like yesterday was hard. Like yesterday was hard. Like I called clients, man, today's a tough day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigar.
You run into those, man. It's funny that you run into sometimes more of those. Sometimes you feel like you run into wins. But the wins just
that's why you gotta be
the wins just be so fucking big, bro, that it like makes up for like I go through that 1,000 times. Every time it's not as bad as you feel like it'd be. And I'm pretty sure Jason going through this, bro, like there's probably a better solution somewhere else. And at the end of it all, he's gonna be like, you know what? Like that shit was awesome. Like it sucked at the moment. I just didn't understand the plan, you know what I mean? And you just really got to believe that. And it's funny because I was talking to my wife and just telling her, like, I was listening to a podcast and they talked about how they have the valley, what they call it, the hell, something valley. It's just a place that you get to in your business where, you've scaled a little bit. And so you're really like, it takes like a quarter, they say. It's not like it takes like a quarter. You switch CRMs, right? And now you're putting people in place. And the valley of death, I think they call it. And it kills a lot of businesses because they don't have
the marketing.
Huh? Because you can't pull off the marketing.
You can't pull off the marketing.
I was talking to my wife about it the other day, and I'm just like talking about like the confidence and just the belief that you have. And it almost takes you back to when you first got started because like I'm talking about it, I'm just like fuck, like it's gonna be a big quarter. Like I'm like, I know that. You know what I mean? I was like, because there's too much shit there for it not to be.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because I'm almost in such a low spot in my company where it's like, fuck, like, what am I doing wrong? And I'm like looking at like, bro, I've paid more attention into the things that I do in my company now than I've ever done.
And that's good. It's just another learning experience.
But it's not showing, you know what I mean? So it's like, you're like, what the fuck is going on? Like, it's not a panic, but it's just like, bro, like I firmly believe in what I'm doing right now. And at some point,
still takes 3 months.
I get that, but that's what I'm saying. Like you get to a point where it's just like all of the things that you've read on just strengthening your mindset, your belief system, and all these things. Like that's when it comes into effect when you start to scale a little bit, because you're gonna face that point where it's like you're gonna need all that shit because anybody else, most people will fold. And I'm looking at it, I'm just like, look, bro, like I'm gonna max out fucking everything possible, in order to do whatever has to be done. Because I told her, I said, when this shit starts to pop, I'm like, we're not probably, but we will have our biggest month ever.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it'll probably fucking outdo some of the years that we've had. That's just how fucking like it's like having your sewage system like backed up, bro. Like bro, my shit is full of some shit, bro. So when that shit blows up, bro, like it's about to be like,
right.
And we're gonna go to a whole new level. You know what I mean? But right now, it's like, we just gotta keep pushing.
Bro, I mean, it gets stressful. I'd say in those points, it's like, okay, what could we have done better beforehand to avoid this situation of mental anguish? Number one. And one thing I really wanted to bring up, so I don't believe in God, but one thing I will say is that these motherfuckers who always say God will provide, they will a lot of shit to happen because they don't expect anything else to happen. Like, as far as like dead ass faith, like, no, this is fine. Like, it's gonna happen. Like, it's like the faith, and I've seen a trend of like the different like religious people, and then like you see a trend of like the law of attraction people. They're just using different words, but it's the same mentality.
It's the same. It's all faith.
Faith, faith,
confidence. Like,
it is all insanity.
That's what it's a belief in yourself. It's an insane belief.
Yeah.
And honestly, the insane part is the difference. Like, it's an insane belief in what you're doing.
Insane.
Because my wife will be like, hey, this is kind of where we sitting when it comes to this and that. And like, I don't even want to hear it. And and that's not a good thing. Like, obviously, when they talk about finances and stuff like that, when you talk with just next another, that should be a conversation that you got to be able to have. But like, I believe like whatever situation that we're in, we not going to be there for long. So like, I don't even like to think about it because I'm like, man, like, all right.
Well, you can't let it pull you down. Like you
know what I mean? Like I get it's a reality.
Yeah.
Like, I got you. But like, I'm not even there. Like, so I don't know where it's coming from, but it's coming from somewhere. You know what I mean? It ain't there. You don't see it, but it's coming, because so many times has it happened that way. So many times have I had faith in just paying on marketing or paying for, this education here or whatever it may be. And me not 100% know, like fucking, like, I don't know, but it's going to happen.
Bro, I will say.
Then fucking somebody come, hey, I'm looking to sell my house, man. Shit, if you buy this tomorrow, I only want 50 grand for it. What? And then boom.
You
know what I mean?
You never know what's happening out in the universe, and that person probably never even existed until they called you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm like? That's how crazy
it always happens. So like, when shit gets bad, sometimes like I don't believe that shit's bad, because I'm just like, well, something's coming.
Something's coming.
Sometimes I don't even know where it's coming from, but it's coming.
Well, I mean, so one thing that gives me more faith is tithing. Because I have tithed our last dollar, and then we just get money. Like, I have legitimately tithed the bank account gone.
Well,
and then we get a check or something else comes in the next day that fills up the bank account. Like bananas shit, to where it is out. That's the only thing I tell most people to do. Like, hey, just donate 10%. If it's your last 10% you haven't done it before, the more you give, the more that comes back.
Well, and what do they say? What they say faith is? Faith from a Bible perspective, right? Faith is the belief in something that you can't see.
Yeah.
And it's like, I got a lot of that. I got a lot of that, and honestly, that's how I honestly believe that. And you believe it because you're doing the little things. I think that's the biggest thing. Like, you believe, like, as a football player, when you're training all off season and you're doing
that's
that
what you rely on when you in the season.
When you're in the season, it's all based off of like, I know that I will be able to execute this at the highest level because I know this off season I was intentional with finishing through the line. I was intentional with, staying low in my stance.
Well, I worked harder than everybody else, right? And you lean on that.
And that's what you lean on. You lean on faith. You lean on things that you can't see. You believe that all that you've done is going to make you better because others have done it, and there's proof in the concept, right? So
you lean on that hard, like, at least for me, like, bro, I leaned on my hard work is what built my confidence. Like, my hard work is what's built confidence and faith. Nothing else. Because then like
it's worked for too many people for it to not work for me. If I'm doing exactly what they're saying.
I don't even, I'm just like, man, I work harder than you.
Mm-hmm.
I will develop more skills than you. Well, not even than you, but like the hard work gets me so far. And then let's say we get to a really low point, you need to get really creative. That's just another skill that you develop. So next time you should probably just implement that all the time, since you know what I'm saying? Implement those things when times are low. Probably just implement it all the time.
When you talk about hard work, especially I think in our industry, hard work isn't busy.
No, we talked about this on the DM family call yesterday.
Hard work is the discipline on the little things. Like, and I think Jamil actually posted a video, a reel on it yesterday, and he talked about how people he has all these $1 million businesses, and people are like, your life has to be so great. And he's like, my life is boring.
So I film for 12 hours a day.
I film for 12 hours a day, coach for 6 hours a day, blah, 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 blah. And I wake up and I do it all over again. He's like, it's the same shit, but like, that's what produces.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so when you talk about like working hard, I believe working hard is staying disciplined to the things, to the steps. You know what I mean?
So, and I just wanted to write down something that I remembered. So yesterday in like the DM family call, we were talking about like, no one gives a fuck if you're busy.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody. He's like, and then Mark's like, bro, look at my calendar. So I have like 3 things. And that's a big day for me.
Yeah.
He was like, well, look at my bank account.
Yeah.
That bitch is full. And like, we're going for more.
Are you doing the small tasks that you're supposed to be doing every day?
Well, he was like, well, the discipline is like, but like the busyness is not what creates the results.
Mm-hmm.
It's usually like the bigger problem solving that's going to help you with the overall results, and everything else can be outsourced, especially when you hit leverage.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and it's not just you. Like when it's just you, the busyness is there and the hustle muscle is there and working and everything else. But then when you get to a certain point, like, well, busyness doesn't matter.
Yeah.
What is the number one thing that is going to change? If I could only do one thing today that is going to make us more money, what is that? And then just do that over and over and over again. Right. To where you could really narrow it down to like 1 to 3 things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, well, I got this phone call. I'm gonna film this TV show. Like, so like me, what is it? Meetings, content, and something else. And that's like all I do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's all. It's kind of weird. Like, don't
meetings
be busy.
Is what does all the work. Like, if you really like, one thing that I've learned for me and the production of that I get out of people is consistently meeting with them. Like, it sounds hella easy, or it seems like hella like duh. And I hate meetings. And I don't, because I'm like, bro, I ain't trying to waste somebody's time. But like, it's the mental side of meeting with people. It's the I still care about you, or I care about your growth, or you know what I mean? Like, that's the stuff that it's the personal touch that allows people to continue to like push for you.
Pouring more into them.
You're pouring more into them. Whereas like you get good people on your team, so you kind of just let them go. But it's like, well, you can't just let them go. You gotta intentionally continue to pour into them every week. You know what I mean? Not necessarily every day, you know what I mean? But it could be every like twice a week, or and that was my biggest flaw, bro. Like, cause I was still trying to figure out shit on my own, let alone trying to like, pull people up, pulling people with me. And I realized like with Chris, bro, like the more I was more hands-on with him, and not because he needs to be babysat, but more because like, you know what, I continue to push, put fire into him. He has it on his own, but at the end of the day, you still got to like give people that, you know what I mean? You still got to like, just, it's like a relationship. You got to nurture it, man. You got to listen to the calls. You got to, go over the script with him and listen how he battles back from those things. And I think it's opened my eyes tremendously, because like, I'm listening to my man and I'm like, bro, you a dog. You know what I mean? Like, shit, like, you know what I mean? And I'm like, now I need to find someone to take over what you're doing, because you're still there, because I failed to replace you with somebody else, because you should be here.
That's what you run into though, right? Like, now that you start bringing on employees, people want to grow.
Yeah.
They want more. They want to feel special. They want to do cool shit. And then the people who don't want to, they really shouldn't be a part of your company, or they stay at like one level.
Bro, he should not be there. Like as I listen to him and we continue to train and stuff like that, I'm like, bro, like, I'm doing you a huge disservice, and I've been doing it for a while, because I haven't taken the time to really watch your skill set. Like, I knew you had a good skill set, you know what I mean? But there was also some things like within him, but being able to, a lot of the things that was negative with him were cleared with just meeting with him twice a week.
That's what I had to do.
You know what I mean? Like, so like now, where's the issue? You know what I mean? And so like that's one thing. One of the promises I had to make to him was just like, bro, like what you're doing is like it's very entry level. To be honest with you, like that can be replaced. You know what I mean? And so getting him into a better situation to be able to really help us grow. So I mean, bro, this year's gonna be exciting for me. Again, that's just all faith.
I mean, I guess what's Hormozy's quote? We question everything we know besides the things that we absolutely know, or something like that. You question all your beliefs except the ones you truly believe. Like it's not even for me. It's not even a question, right? Like you know to get better.
Oh, for sure. Well, yeah.
Like, so it's not even. I feel like it's past faith. Like as stupid as that sounds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, like, well, so like that happened, so I know this is going to happen. I don't know. That's what I say. It's like you're past faith, bro. Like it's time. It's already gonna happen.
Yeah. I guess.
Where you've seen the result happen again and again and again and again.
Yeah. I mean, you can still move people into something, and they won't necessarily be successful unless you have the intention on making sure that they do. So maybe I just have a faith in just my ability to lead.
I think you're missing my conversation with you.
Probably.
I think you missed my conversation with you.
You're saying like it's one of those things where like with scaling a business or moving people or just moving people.
I'm just saying overall, you know what's going to happen because you know. As far as everything,
because I've seen it, or
like right, I've seen it. Like it's going to happen. Like this is
meaning like I've seen like an example of it happening with someone else.
Yeah. Well, and you've done it before.
Oh well, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, okay, I see what you're saying. Like that someone's capable of filling a role because you've been in that.
I'm not even talking about roles. I'm just talking about business.
Oh, okay.
I'm just talking. Yeah. Yeah. Way over your head.
I'll catch it later.
It's okay. You'll catch it later, bro.
I'll catch it later.
You'll catch it later.
Bro, that's what you was talking about, bro.
Yeah, you'll catch it later, bro. Don't worry about it.
But yeah, you ready to wrap this up, man?
Yeah, bro, I'm ready. What do I got? Oh, hit me up if you're interested in the winning mastermind, man. We got some cool shit going on in there. We got some killers in there. We got some real life killers in there. They're doing big things.
You got some guys locking up some shit.
Huh?
You got some guys locking up some shit in there.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, we do.
I've seen it. We
got other business people coming into. I want to curate that in like the amazing network, not like so how the winning mastermind was. I want to be that to where it's like really diverse, but like everybody can pull something from somebody.
From every niche.
Because again, like I'm not a massive fan on like, oh yeah, we're just gonna talk about scaling your wholesaling business.
Yeah. But it's not scaling a wholesaling business. Never mind.
I mean, but like I feel like I can send you to people who will help you more in that aspect.
Yeah.
As far as business mentality and mindset, I feel like I can help a lot.
Yeah, you figure the rest of it out. But yeah, man, that's all I got.
Mainlinecomps.com.
Oh, Propstream. That's your Propstream link right there.
And go to calmmagicians.com.
You know what? Also, though, hit me up. I guess if you need, if you've been looking to upgrade your CRM, I know a lot of people still use Podio, and there's nothing wrong with that. To me, I always say we use Resimply, and we moved to it last year, fourth quarter. And honestly, bro, when I look at all the subscriptions I've had, Resimply's been able to really take care of a lot of those.
That's nice.
The ability to, it has call rail pretty much built into it, where I'm able to have a different phone number for each marketing campaign, each direct mail campaign. I'm able to send text messages through the CRM directly to my leads, just like you can on, you can do that on Podio. But again, with Podio, you have to be a little bit more. You either got to send it to someone to get it built out, or you're going to spend forever trying to fucking program it. Or
yeah, you're going to learn how to code.
You're going to learn how to code, right? Whereas Resimply was built by a real estate investor for real estate investors. So you talk about drip campaigns. You talk about being able to set up different campaigns when you're following up with those leads, to be able to send text messages, send contracts, purchase contracts, assignment contracts to your buyers, being able to track your flips, your expenses. It links to your bank account. You can mark, paid this for Resimply, paid this for Propstream, paid this. It tracks all those things for you, so you can see where a lot of your money and your business is going.
Yeah,
it's so dynamic, bro. Like I can't even explain it all.
Isn't it only like $100 a month?
It's $299 a month for the pro level, and then I believe it's $399 at the moment for their executive one, which allows you to be able to kind of have like smartphone. So you can, when you're calling the leads, you can have the dialer on there with a different keypad and all that good
nice.
shit. So it's pretty. So it can feel like it's expensive, but for all the subscriptions that it replaces, it's worth every dollar of it. So if you're looking into Resimply or whatever, just let me know. I'll shoot you my link for it so you can take a look at it. And I believe it gives you a discount off your first month or something like that. I can't remember what the promo gave, but it's definitely 100% worth it. I actually just signed somebody up last week.
There you go.
So
it's a sticky affiliate.
Yeah,
they ain't leaving.
It's a good affiliate. Like it's one of those things where it's like, you know what, like how I feel about Propstream, like Resimply is like times 10 because it's been fucking awesome, to be honest with you.
What else we got? Oh, if you're looking to scale your social media, go to clockworkmedia.io. If you're looking for the best virtual assistants in the world, go to callmagicians.com.
Other than that, we'll see you next week.
Peace.
Thank you for tuning in to the Free Agent Real Estate Investing Podcast. Don't forget to give us a 5-star review. If you would like to stay in touch with Stratton and myself, follow us on Instagram. And please be sure to subscribe to our Free Agent REI Podcast YouTube channel and give us a thumbs up.